So, what we know is that trauma, this is what I have come to learn in all the work that I've done personally, as well as with other people, is that trauma blocks love and connection. And it is, in fact, love and connection that heals trauma. And there is this cycle involved in this, okay? Trauma blocks love. Trauma blocks who we are in our essence. Trauma blocks our ability to connect to our authentic self. And it is, in fact, love and connection that heals trauma. I'm going to teach you about different models of psychotherapy. But the fact of the matter is, it's not the model of psychotherapy that's really the healing agent. And I know that might not be what you're wanting to hear because everybody's interested in learning different models of therapy. The models of therapy are important, don't get me wrong, because they organize a certain way of working with people in a way that's helpful. So models of therapy are helpful, but ultimately it's love and connection that heals trauma. It's love and connection. And so I'm making a pretty bold statement when I say love and connection heals trauma, when in fact we are therapists who are taught not to love our clients because that's inappropriate. And of course, some therapists love their clients in the wrong way and cross boundaries. So what we're going to play around with here today is how do we maintain open-hearted love and connection with our clients that includes appropriate boundaries so that they can access the love and connection that is within them to heal their trauma. Remember, I said love and connection heals trauma, and I truly believe that. And I think it's the love and connection from the therapist as well as the love and connection from the client to the parts of them that experience the trauma. So love and connection internally and love and connection relationally heal trauma. And it is trauma that blocks our ability to have love and connection. It's not only the trauma that blocks our client's ability to love and connect with the parts of them that experienced trauma, it's also the trauma that blocks our ability as therapists to access our own love and connection. And that's an important piece because in IFS therapy, we talk about how therapists have their own parts, just like the clients do. In this model, therapists are no different than clients in our having gone through overwhelming life experience and our parts that block our access to love and connection that get in the way of our ability to be there in an open, loving way with our clients. IFS calls that self-energy. Okay, so we're going to be exploring the different dimensions here as we move forward. And I just want to say before we get started here that Dick Schwartz is the founder of the internal family systems model of therapy, and that I'm one of the lead trainers in the IFS Institute. I developed the trauma training for the IFS Institute. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on here is we're going to be looking at the IFS model of therapy, and we're going to see how it applies to healing what we call complex or relational trauma. So that's going to be the focus of our time here together. So before we get started, I want to just have us all do an internal meditation. So I want to have you all get comfortable and familiar with your internal world, because in order for us, in my view, to truly heal from trauma, we need to be comfortable and familiar with our parts and the way our parts are activated or not when we're sitting with our clients. Some models of psychotherapy call this countertransference. I call it therapist parts. We all have parts, just like our client does. So, and it's another reason why I wrote my memoir, To Be Loved, is that, oftentimes there's the big expert. So the experts have no problem, and the experts know all the answers. Well, that's bullcrap, in my view. I don't believe it. I really don't. We are wounded healers, and many of us, myself included, go into the field because of our own trauma. And my position is don't focus on other people's trauma. Heal your own so that you can be truly open and available to somebody else's. People were laughing, talking about somebody in the chat, and I always hear this. I'm 61 years old, right? People are always shocked to hear that I'm 61 years old. And people joke about, what's your skincare routine? Frank, you should develop a skincare regimen, right? And I'm like, you know what my skincare regimen is? Honestly, healing my trauma. I truly believe that trauma is energy that weighs us down physically and emotionally. And the more I heal my own trauma, the younger I become. And I really believe that. So if you want my skincare regimen, separate from the fact that I'm Italian, I'm 100% Sicilian. So I know my genes have something to do with it. But more important, I think it's the healing of trauma. The more I heal, the more trauma energy I release, the younger I feel and the younger I look, right? So I want to just throw that out there. It ain't the right lotion for your eyes, even though I do use skincare. I do use lotion. It's more about, it's more about my loving energy that shines through because of all the trauma I released, right? I have access to my heart more fully than I ever did before. Oh, somebody wrote the notion, not the lotion, right? I love that. I love that. You know what somebody else said to me? I was on a podcast recently. They're like, buy the book, not Botox. Buy the book instead of Botox. Buy the notion, not the lotion. I just love it. I just love it. But, as we're joking around here, I truly believe it. I really, really, truly believe it. The more I release, the more me I am that shines through. And I don't think this is just about Frank Anderson. I think this is about every single person here. I think we all have the capacity to release what we're carrying and being our true authentic self. I don't think I'm unique and special in that way. I think I've been working on it for a long time and I have more access. And I want to teach people that this is possible for every single one of us. So do your work, do your work, do your work as you're helping others do their work, right?